Suddenly, all future videos are moving twice as fast. Yeah. I've just gotten better, guys. I've just gotten better. One-handed, man.
That's crazy.
Shadowversity.
Yes, certain internet swordsmen are lying to you. Not everyone, of course, but you might see some impressive sword clips floating around on TikTok, on X and other places of people doing some, really impressive things with a sword, like especially moving it fast. I did that for a reason, okay? And I've had my suspicions, so much so that we can expose it a bit. Not everyone does this, but the sword you see me holding here is a new katana. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Actually, looks very good. We've reviewed a lot of katanas over the course, but if you are a savvy viewer, you should be noticing something odd about it in my movements. Have a look at my movements.
If somebody's saying they can notice the difference right now, they are lying.
You reckon?
Straight up.
But it's not in what the sword looks like. It's in how easy it is to handle. Something is very different about this sword, even though it looks really, really solid. Looks perfectly real. But the truth is, this sword is fake.
Define fake. Because this is a sword for a purpose. There are useful applications for this sword, but I wouldn't consider it to be a battle-ready sword. Let's put it that way.
Not a battle-ready sword. And like, look at what I can do here. See the speed I'm reaching? Especially like redirects, okay?
So what this is, what Shad's had a little bit of a pet peeve for a while, and me too, honestly, is aluminum swords, or aluminium, if you have a speech impediment.
This sword is aluminium.
Yes. Now, let's start off with the context of why something like this might exist. First and foremost, film and television. The reason why I said that there's none of you that are going to be able to tell what's wrong with this sword is because on camera, this looks like a 100% real sword. And that's the point. If you're in like a movie or a TV show or something like this and you have two actors or stuntmen fighting, if Shad goes out to hit me with this on the arm, hit me on the soft kit, it's nowhere near as something like a steel blade. It doesn't have a sharp edge, and obviously you can move it at a faster speed, so it looks more impressive.
That's the key right there. That's why...
that's what we're discussing.
This is what we're discussing, because in certain martial arts, like clip videos that are going around online, they look really impressive and they're moving it really, really fast. So fast that I can tell how much mass this blade has. Like, even if you're paying attention, you should be able to tell me a difference between this and this. There's a mass difference.
Yeah. Should we tell them how much this weighs? Let's give you guys some context so you understand. So this one here is more of like a
standard katana weight.
Yeah, it's not my jam.
Why are we using it? I get a better one.
Because it's got the same profile as that one.
It's got a fuller.
Yes, and it's exactly the same. This one weighs in and around about like 1.1 to 1.2 kilos. Like it's still a light sword, but this one here weighs 570 grams.
More than half the weight of a regular sword.
Yeah. And why does this matter? Well, it's the same sort of thing that happens when we talk about giant swords. It is speed, mass, and momentum. And when you have weight up here, further away from your center of mass, and you have to travel through your arms, through your ligaments, through your muscles, it's hard to move something like that, whereas this weighs
nothing. It's nothing. It's like a toy. It's no joke. It's like you're holding a toy.
Yeah, 2 figures. That's how light this sword is.
But it looks so real.
That's the point, yes.
And so then when you want to do some martial arts, videos to show off and stuff like that, I'm a little divided, because if the purpose is to make something entertaining, like in film, television, everything like that, a little bit of fakery is okay. But if you're trying to show off how skillful you are with a sword and you're using a fake sword to make yourself look better, I'm like, I don't know how to feel about that. That's a bit like, if you. Like,
again,
well,
Well, all right, let's talk about this. This happens more predominantly, at least I haven't seen it happen in long form content. This is predominantly more of like a short form type deal thing. And I think it becomes deceptive when there's speed ramps as well. I think if it's a double combo, that's where it becomes just deceptive.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, there is legitimate reasons to have something like this. And for example, if I wanted to practice some, I don't know, some drills, some movements, some katas, and I was feeling weak or whatever, this is perfect for it. Like there are days where I am just tired and it's hard to lift a sword. When I injured my tendons for like 3 months, something like this is perfect. But when I try and pass that off as this is a real sword with, you know, the same weight, that sort of stuff, and then I speed ramp it on top of it, that's where I think the problem comes in.
So I found some clips. Now, some of these clips, I can't really say, right? They look like the sword is far too light than what it should be. But all I have is my subjective judgment. And I'm worried that maybe the person who filmed it sees this video and they'll get really offended because it's a real sword and I just misjudged it. But it looks like far too light in some of these. But then there are some that we can actually see the speed ramps. And there's one guy who actually uses a wooden sword that we've exposed. Yeah. That is completely fake.
I think it's also worth noting that in some cases, it may not be even the original creator. Like people take clips and upload them and stuff. I saw a short the other day that has my clips, has Dash's clips, has some of Shadiversity clips.
Really?
And it's just like bullshitto AI. Give me a wall text of this.
I really want to see that now.
Yeah. So like it happens to everybody. People will just take your clips and put whatever they want on it.
Yeah. So the other interesting thing is, right, I think this is more like speed ramps, even if I think that's actually far more prevalent than people might realize, and then actual fake swords. So these swords are made for martial arts practice. You can go online and they're not too hard to find. Like what's interesting is we don't have a counterpart for medieval swords.
Yeah, this is I mean, from my knowledge, there is one company, I think, that makes blank blades for long swords.
Or stage ones.
Yeah.
And the stage ones aren't made for martial arts use. They're actually twice as thick as a regular medieval sword. And so their weight is only like, 20% less than a real sword.
Yeah.
These aluminium stage combat ones.
But these sorts of katana profiled ones, these are a lot easier to get.
Yeah, this is made to have the exact same profile as a real katana. The aluminium is polished in such an expert way that it looks like real steel.
That's why I got this one out as well, so you guys can see.
We really need to get one, because I've had real swords that have a gloss polish. This has a matte polish, but no joke, I've had real swords that look exactly like, because I guess Asian martial arts has been more popular and prominent, that these types of swords have just caught on for performative stuff. Like I actually think even in martial arts tournaments, like where you do a kata, right? And you are judged on how still you could hold the blade, how precisely you move it, and safety. Most of them are using aluminium swords.
I just don't see the point.
Like I saw a documentary on a martial arts competition, right? And a guy was using a training katana, and it was easily, obviously aluminium, but the speed he was reaching with it was insane because it was so light.
Yeah.
It looked amazing. His kata he was doing flips and everything with it, but try and do that with a wheel-weighted sword, no hope.
Yeah, I recently was thinking about this because I was doing some dual wielding stuff with two full-size katanas. It's not like you can't do it, it's not like you can't move them, but like comparing that with these two, it is like not even the same thing.
We're actually going to show some comparisons.
What the?
This is insane. Just how easy it is to redirect and move and the speed you can reach with it. They look better because you're moving so fast.
There's also how would I describe this? So, for example, if I did a big, huge chop, right? I need to take that momentum out of the blade because you obviously don't want to try and hit the ground or something like that. With this, I can just stop. I can just stop.
Exactly.
With this, I cannot just stop. I have to take the momentum out of the blade or redirect it, right? So things like that where it looks really impressive because you're moving so fast, so precisely, And all of a sudden it's like, well, if you only have 500 grams, that's actually really easy to do.
Now, in a lot of martial arts cutting demonstrations, I think they're using real swords.
Well, for what though?
Tatami usually.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Because you could sharpen this up and it could cut, but then it doesn't have the mass. And this would actually be difficult to cut. I'm interested to try it out though.
It's terrible.
It wouldn't be great.
Terrible.
This week's exclusive video is an in-depth discussion on sword damage, because we have damaged our fair share of swords here on the channel, and you might be surprised how little effort it takes to damage a sword. What use cases, scenarios would you expect a sword to get damaged? More than you might think. Far more than just sword-on-sword contact. And how much damage then can a sword take before it needs to get replaced? All right, this is going to be informative if you are interested in buying swords, if you're wanting to write swords accurately in your fantasy or role-playing games or anything like that. It's just going to be really interesting because there's new information to share. And so that's this week's exclusive video, which you can get access to on Patreon, Subscribestar, or channel memberships, just $1 a month. Helps us out more than we can express. Thank you to everyone who is supporting us. And now let's get back to the video. You can find these on martial arts websites, okay? But what's kind of annoying me is that the average person who sees them thinks that they're real swords and that that's the standard speed that people, like the master's able to reach. And Tyranth and I, right, this is, we have had one other aluminium sword.
Yeah.
And,
two technically.
Got given to me, this one. I've had it for a while, but we've rarely used it.
So these ones are like, how would I describe this? If I would consider this to be like, if you wanted a katana, right, but you didn't want a real sword, and you wanted something to put on your wall that's really nice, that you don't have to take care of, it's not going to rust, all that sort of stuff, this is actually like legitimately a good option.
Yeah,
I wish we could get long swords like this, just for the fun of it. But we would disclose it. Yeah. They're not a real sword, right?
But there is one case where we didn't disclose using this, but that was for a fantasy film.
That was for a short film. Yeah, short films aren't real, guys. I don't know if you know this.
It was specifically, obviously choreographed and made.
Well, the reason why I brought up how good this one looks is because I would consider this to be like the original version of this.
Show
like this one here. This one here, like we said, this looks like a real sword. Indistinguishable, honestly. This one does look a little bit more fake-ish, plasticky, simply because it doesn't have something like a nice bohie. The hamon line is much worse on this one, and even things like the tip geometry and that sort of stuff isn't really the nicest.
Yeah.
But yeah, we use them. Actually, we should probably show the edges. We fought with these maybe a total of twice, maybe twice.
Yep.
And one of them's been bent and warped because Nate fell on it, and the edge is like trashed. But there is a very real thing about the safety with the edges on these, because it's aluminum and it's very soft, right? Once you get all these burrs, it takes like 5 seconds to just go, take it off. Yeah. Whereas with something like a trainer, if you're getting large burrs, you got to actually grind that back.
Yeah.
So it's just easier to maintain, it's safer to work with. And that's for like film purposes.
Yeah. Now, there are some martial art practitioners, when they do drills, the weight, it's like, I can see that looks like it's a real sword, looks legit, I can see the skill. But then there are other ones where it's just so fast, and especially in the wrist and the way they stop it, it's just like, okay, you're using a fake sword, but they're posting it like, look at how skillful I am, kind of. Now, what's also interesting is we've rarely ever used this. Only occasionally in Epic Adventure Quest.
Twice. Yeah. And they were both short film content.
But in all other demonstrations and everything, we've always used real, properly weighted swords. Yeah. And
well, these are the only two we have. Anyway.
Right. Well, medieval ones, we don't have an aluminium medieval one. And like, we do some actually risky, dangerous things. The intro to the Witcher sword review from Swordier.
What did we do in that?
Well, in the intro, I'm moving it, I'm spinning it around. I'm doing Witcher stuff with it, right? That is not only a real weighted sword, it's a deadly sharp sword. I do not recommend people trying to do what I was doing with that sword in that video.
Yeah.
But it's difficult.
I mean, yeah.
It's not easy.
It's harder to do
but
things
not only
with real
that,
swords,
our short film sword fight, right? where we're using the
A
trainer.
different one.
A different one.
Yes.
So those are fully weighted training swords.
Yes.
I like 1.7
they're not
kilos.
They're not competition compliant either because they're too stiff. So like if you thrust at someone, they're too stiff. It's dangerous. So those trainers are even more. They're just real swords. They just don't have an edge.
Effectively. Yeah. But the thing is, though, what we pulled off with using real swords, not many people, I guess, can understand the context, because I look at that and I'm like, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm surprised we even pulled it off. It's like, that looks pretty damn good, especially that those are real weighted swords, right?
Yeah, no fingies. It was good. But yeah, with these sorts of swords, I want to make this clear. When we say that there are people, I mean, like, I think for sure there are people who are doing it deceptively. I also think there are people who are having their clips taken and then added. Somebody else is doing the deception part. And then lastly, I think there are people who are
not even thinking about it.
Not even thinking about it.
It's just like, this is what we train with.
Yeah, this
is what I'm doing with, and this is what they thought is standard. But then they're not aware that you're actually perpetuating an unrealistic standard then with a fake, you show it because people see it and think that's what real swords move
Because like the biggest one for me is the speed ramps, right?
Yeah.
I spend every day of my life with cameras and like different frame rates and things like that. For me, it's as obvious as, I don't know, somebody wearing makeup. I don't know what it is. Like something very, very obvious. For other people, they just don't even see it. It's not even something that exists to them. And I find that fascinating.
So let's do some demonstrations. If you can hear it in my voice, I'm not feeling well today. So Tyranth is going to be showing some comparisons. Even with me feeling like crap, right? The sword is so light, right? If I'm here, I feel like I could easily, but even this I'm not 100% on, right? But the speed, right, is just like, and then you can, especially like when you get into this one and stuff, like this is just trying to be able to show it better.
Yeah, it's a bit high, but you get the idea. So this is a real sword, real steel blade. I'm just going to do a nice draw cut, and then I'll bring it down for a secondary slash. And I'll do it at what I would consider to be like I'm not trying to go as fast as humanly possible, but at least a regular speed, right? That's regular speed.
Exactly. That strength of downward cut you did, that takes off a limb. We know that. We've tested it now.
Yeah, like that's not as fast as I can go. We've done a whole thing trying to get speed on draw cuts so you can get an actual real idea of how fast real swords would be, but that's still more than enough. Like that's average speed. Well, all right, so now you've seen real steel, now you've seen the aluminum steel, and we'll play side by side with that, one that has been slightly speed ramped, ever so slightly, and you'll be able to see the difference though. My body can't move fast enough to go with the blade.
I feel so crap, but seeing you do that, I can't help myself.
No,
I know, funny, our armor is slowing us down as well. But with speed ramps, especially like, say this, right? I could up, like.
It's funny. I know you can't move that fast.
Yeah, right. Yes.
And I'm watching you on camera and I'm like, that's not how fast Shad moves. Yeah, that's funny.
I'm just showing off now. It's just like...
Because I'm like, no, that's bullshit. I wonder what the response to this is going to be. These are not real swords.
No.
Stage swords. Film swords. Not battle-ready swords, though. Because the draw cuts are the ones that get me, right?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't consider myself to be the fastest draw cutter in the Wild West. But I'm also pretty quick. But with these, it's like...
I'd like to time that.
What was the fastest I did? With this, which wasn't even with the katana, it was with one of the shamshears or the arming sword.
Yeah, it was the Philippe arming sword from Topeka.
With this, I'm quicker. It's just nothing.
That's fast.
And that's without a speed ramp.
Yeah. In editing, let's try and put a speed ramp on that. Now, show a real sword.
Yeah. Well, I'm still fast, you know, Chad.
Not that fast.
Still fast.
Yeah, but man, you can feel the momentum
the weight,
in that so much more.
Yeah.
Especially when it reaches the top.
Yeah.
It takes so much more effort to slow down.
Well, you can feel it in the wrist. And this is obviously something that if you hold real swords, you're gonna notice the difference. With that one, I could do that all day.
Are you recording this?
Yeah.
Good.
It's so effortless. Man, if swords really moved like this, holy shit, fights would be like anime.
Gotta bring out the Tyrant Slayer now and then.
Yeah, name your sword after me, yeah.
Double fuller. Night and day, man. And now I'm tired. Now I'm knackered from moving around. But this is like, this is a heavier sword, right? And so even like,
there we go. That's how Shad moves.
can still move a sword, you
No,
bastard.
like-
But I'm showing the difference though. You can see the, I'm so tired now already though. Like,
Well, don't do it if it's gonna make you too tired.
but like, I reckon I'm half as fast. I'm laughing because I'm holding this, right? This is a LARP katana.
I don't use LARP ever in my life, so
I've always said
you
LARP.
should be more practiced with than me.
No. I've practiced with katana. I've actually maintained LARP swords are okay to train with. One of the reasons they are lighter, but their point of balance is so much higher, it almost compensates feel in comparison to the aluminium.
They're about the same.
No, this has more mass. This has 100. No, and because it's got a higher point of balance. This is like.
But I mean,
no, I'm doing the test. I can move this up and down fast. Look, like this is twice as fast as the LARP.
but they are almost equivalent. Don't lie.
Dude, do the test. Yeah,
Like that's just the floppiness of the foam.
The point of
is
balance.
stiffer.
The aluminium one is easier to move around than the flippin' LARP. I want to get a medieval one. And for the purpose, just to see what happens, make some duplicate like those martial art clips of movements without context and see how many people it fools, if it gets any traction, if it gets reposted, because they look really impressive.
Yeah.
We can look really impressive with aluminium swords, but I wonder if that's also added to the perception that medieval swords are slower and katanas.
I don't think so.
Because martial arts is where they show the peak performance, and if half of them are using fake swords.
Well, we just don't have the same thing though. You know what I mean? Like we have cutting competitions and that sort of stuff, but it's just not the same. It's not on the same level, and it's not the same sort of like, because like how many clips are there of people swinging around just like long swords and
Not as many.
things like that, just to be flashy. I know that there's a couple and they're great,
Well,
right? But it's nowhere near the same level.
I mean, I put out the Witcher one, just the intro, and look, like that got a decent amount of attention. People liked it. Were like, that looks cool.
Yeah, it's so.
But if I did it with an aluminium sword.
It is.
So, look, guys, what do you think? Do you reckon these martial arts,
It's balanced like a long-
I know, right? Its point of balance is lower than a regular katana. Do you reckon these clips that are going around are actually like deceptive in I was going to say malicious, but some I think are just them going with the flow, but some I do think are trying to present themselves as being higher skill than what they would be.
So like, if you guys can't tell that with like a full-size sword, I'm like, ooh, like it's so light. There's nothing.
It's a toy. It is a toy.
573 grams. Yeah, fun.
So let us know what you think in the comment. Are these clips deceptive or part of martial arts practice? Have you noticed this before? Are you shocked by it? And I still want to try. There's no one making medieval swords like that. I want to get it just to see what it looks like, and also to throw them out there to see if it fools people. You know.
And don't say that you knew that this was a fake sword, because even in person, we have swords that look like this.
Yes.
Like this looks like a real sword.
Visually, there's no way to tell. It's only
the
when you
moment
see it
pick
move.
it up. Yeah.
Suddenly, all future videos are moving twice as fast. I've just gotten better, guys. I've just gotten better. One-handed, man.
That's crazy. You actually look fast.
I know, right?
And I'm like,
And the speed ramps in there.
and the thing is, because in person, I'm like, oh yeah, that's not too bad. But on camera, I'm like, that is not how Shad moves. Don't give
It
me
is.
that.
I've just gotten better.